The real question about the 80 election is when did it become clear that Reagan had a good chance to win?
And we will control one house of the Congress for the first time in more than a quarter of a century.
And we're going to beat the Republicans in November. We want Reagan. We want Reagan.
Presidential election nights are almost always exciting, particularly when you've got the out party ousting the incumbent, as was the case here. And the contrast between the two personalities was very stark and very interesting. You know, Carter being extremely detail-oriented and very fact-driven, Reagan being much more theoretical very often, not fascinated with facts.
A recession is when your neighbor loses his job. A depression is when you lose yours. And recovery is when Jimmy Carter loses his.
Quite a number of people had a sort of snobbish, condescending view of Reagan. He was a TV cowboy, and he was old. Carter, of course, was running in very bad luck. Carter had a problematic economy, and then he had this horrible Iran hostage issue.
We don't have inflation because the people are living too well. We have inflation because the government is living too well.
There was only one debate between Carter and Reagan that year. This was going to be another huge test for Reagan. Carter is very clear thinking in terms of detail. Reagan had a reputation for being the opposite. How was he going to come across? Well, all he had to do was fight to a draw. He didn't have to win. He just had to show that he could stand up to the incumbent president, which he did.
Are you better off than you were 4 years ago? Is it easier for you to go and buy things in the stores than it was 4 years ago?
He was calm. He had a little bit of a sense of humor.
There you go again.
Carter looked very, very stern. Some people said that if you just heard the debate on the radio, Carter seemed to be the winner. Election day was spent in Los Angeles. I personally was pretty confident that Reagan was going to win. But the Reaganites were still worried going into the last few days that somehow the administration, having the power of incumbency, would rig something, would spring something that would turn things around. It didn't happen. It was late in the evening. Even on West Coast time, he was quite exhausted. And one of the impressions I had was that he was daunted by the prospect that now he was actually going to go to Washington, try to make it work.
We must act today in order to preserve tomorrow. And let there be no misunderstanding. We are going to begin to act beginning today.